Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of JSO. Today we are in the Texas Hill Country. It is early March and we are about to hunt some hogs. I consistently have a sounder of hogs coming into this feeder that we're going to, and I occasionally also have a bigger blonde boar coming in here. So I really feel optimistic about our chances. On the downside, we have a front blowing in right now, which is creating a little swirl in the wind. But by the time we get set up in the blind, it should be a consistent, strong 20-mile-an-hour north wind. Which is favorable as far as blowing the correct direction, is blowing from the feeder in our face. But sometimes in these high winds, these hogs really don't like to show themselves in the open during daylight hours. If they don't show up during daylight, that's okay. I have two things I'm excited about. One, I just set up an outfitter feeder light at this location so we can continue hunting after dark. And also, I have my bow mounted Elusive Wildlife XLR 250 green light that I can use to shoot with. Obviously, y'all like hog hunting. You clicked on this video and you like bow hunting. So if you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. It really helps me out, and it also ensures that you don't miss some of our giveaways that we occasionally do. Which reminds me, congratulations to Logan on your new Amazon bow that you won in our drawing from the last video. As y'all know, I like to start out these hunts with a verse of the day. Today's verse comes from 1 Corinthians 15:33. It says, "Do not be deceived. Evil company corrupts good habits." This means that if we want to know the Lord and become more like Him, we must surround ourselves by friends who desire the same. Spending time with non-believers who continually insist that God is not real has a way of wearing down even the most faithful followers of Christ. Which reminds me and makes me reflect about some of the relationships I've built since I've started this YouTube thing. There's a couple other channels out there I really look up and admire these guys too. They use the platform of bow hunting to spread the word of God also, and they have excellent content. If you want to surround yourself by other like-minded believers, make sure you give a look at 4B Outdoors and Michael Middleton TBH. Also, I recently asked for recommendations on broadheads y'all'd like to see tested out on these hogs, and one of my viewers said that he would like to see a Grim Reaper broadhead tested out. So that's exactly what we have screwed on today, is a 100 grain Grim Reaper, and we are going to see how that performs. If you have a certain broadhead you'd like to see tested out, make sure you leave it in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll try my best to make it happen. So let's go ahead and head out to the blind. All right, guys, we successfully made it into the blind without spooking anything off. And I wanted to mention to y'all that this pack of Grim Reaper broadheads comes with a practice tip. I screwed one of those on right before I left and let an arrow fly, and the point of impact was perfect. They're flying just like my field points. But I can't convey to y'all how excited I am to be back in this blind. About 1 month ago, I put a lot of work in out there, and I installed this outfitter feeder light, which stays at 10% brightness all night long until it detects motion, and then it slowly ramps up to 100% brightness without spooking off the animal. And it provides plenty of light to let an arrow fly and see your pins on the animal. I'm looking so forward to it. But also installed the remote to my feeder down there. So let's say that I put an arrow through an hog and they all take off. They really don't know what happened because we're bow hunting. It's not that loud. If I can quickly initiate another feed cycle with this remote, then I can possibly call that sounder back in for another opportunity at a hog. So I'm really looking forward to that. We've got about 45 minutes or so. I'm going to go ahead and get quiet now in here, and hopefully we have something to show you really soon. It's been about an hour since we zipped that arrow through that brown hog. I was hoping one of those other two larger hogs would come back in, but only these shoats came back in. I'm pretty sure that that brown hog didn't go very far with it. Expired, likely not too many yards back in the woods, and the arrow that zipped through it, laying right over there where the hogs like to walk in. I think the older hogs are a little more keen on that something's out of place with the smells of the arrow and that expired hog. So we still got a little bit of light, so we're gonna go ahead and jump out and track that hog. It has gotten substantially colder than it was when we filmed the intro earlier. Apparently I didn't watch the weather close enough. It's down to 47 degrees right now according to my app. So, and I'm wearing this super thin shirt made for summer to keep the mosquitoes off. So let's go to work over here. Lex is ready to do it. Right here is the point of impact. Get good red stuff on the arrow all the way up and down it. That Grim Reaper held up well. Still in perfect condition. Blades are still sharp. I don't really believe there's going to be much of a tracking job. I think I saw him go down, or her. There you go. Grim Reaper did the job. All right, let me get it drug out of here and cleaned up. It has gotten much colder out here. We're around 47 degrees and that wind is absolutely ripping through here. I zipped that arrow through this sow right here, and I was really hoping that when I initiated that feeder sequence that one of the others would come right back in, but it just wasn't a good combination. The arrow was still laying right there in the feed area, and this sow had went back maybe 35 yards and expired. So even though those shoats, the younger hogs, came back in, those two more mature hogs, they didn't want any part of it. There were too many signs that something was out of place and they knew better. So we went ahead and jumped down and tracked this guy during the daylight, which really wasn't a tracking job. We just went and picked him up. As far as this broadhead is concerned, I would have liked to see a lot larger entrance hole. And I saw that was actually tiny. I'm not that pumped up about that. And also when the broadhead went in there, I'll need to look at this on the bigger screen. I don't know if we hit a bone and it made a hard turn backwards, or if the hog had just quartered towards me. I'll need to review that, but for some reason the exit was far back. So all that caused the exit hole plugged up with some of the paunch. Overall, the broadhead did its job. It stayed sharp. It's still usable, but on the downside, there wasn't much of a BT. I would like to see a lot better one than that. So anyway, I just ordered some Sever 1.5 titaniums, hybrids. I'm looking forward to trying those. If there's a certain broadhead you'd like to see tried out, leave a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see. If you really enjoy hunting content and you want to see more hunts like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell so you get notified each time we drop a new video. And I'll see you in the next hunt.